Precious metals, I kid you not. A lawmaker in North Carolina wants to let people pay their taxes with silver and gold. It may sound like a wacky idea, but not to Republican State Representative Glen Bradley. Representative, there's a method to this. Explain.
Thank you for having me on today, Neil. There really is. Gold really doesn't lose its value. You were talking in the last segment about the rising price of oil. Well, for the last 75 years, the price of oil has been constant in silver and gold. And because silver and gold holds its value, I think that that's a reasonable thing for people to want to use as a legal tender. And,
all right, so in other words, to pay your bills in gold and silver, to keep it on hand, what?
Well, to store value during a dollar collapse, to use to buy goods in case the dollar becomes worthless, and as a general safety measure, a hedge against the collapse of the Federal Reserve.
Now, you've got this measure going in North Carolina to get that to be accepted. It's not exactly being universally supported, but you're convinced that constitutionally within your rights doing so, because the state has to look after itself, and you're convinced just as much that we're going to see a financial kablooey here, and the Federal Reserve will be going kablooey with it, right?
Well, absolutely. Right now, we as a nation are so indebted to China that they're holding our treasuries. And oil has always been priced in dollars, but the oil producers are moving away from dollars. As that happens, China is going to start looking to hold their reserves in the same currency that oil is sold in. And when they do that, they're going to move away from the dollar. The treasuries are going to start being unloaded, flooding back onto America's shore. And that's when we're going to experience a burst of the currency bubble.
All right, so if the state doesn't do this, and you've got an uphill fight in your hands, they don't have a gold standard, a silver standard, what happens?
Well, the dollar continues to devalue more and more, and I don't necessarily think we're going to get into Weimar Republic territory, but the price of fuel and food especially are going to start rising the most fast and the quickest, and that's going to hurt the poor most of all. We see in other countries these food riots. That's as a direct result of the rising cost of fuel and food, which is caused by the dollar being the world reserve currency.
Interesting stuff. Representative, thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, Neil.